All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming into June 18th, 2019. It is going to be a crazy one. We said this week is going to be historic. Even seeing how today played out, there is a lot of weird stuff and a lot of extraordinary stuff we have coming into here, and we've also been getting all of this economic data. Remember, Wednesday we have the Fed. That is what the market has been waiting for, but till then, we're going to get economic data, and then the Fed is pretty much going to confirm it, make it better, make it worse on Wednesday. Now, I have my keys for tomorrow for you guys. I'm going to go over that because there was unique stuff that happened today and some very important plays that we need to watch. But before I get into that, you know what you have to do. You need to drop your like on the video, but more importantly, post your watch list below. Tell me what stocks you guys are watching. Why are you here? Why are you watching these videos? It is to source information. Everybody could help off of it, profit, yada, blah, blah, blah. To the main point, I have your keys for tomorrow. I'm sure you guys are going to want to watch these. Volume. Once that goes up, things will do the same or the opposite. The volume was extremely low today. Pull it up so you could see. It was about 39 million. The average, even with the low volume we've seen, the last 4 or 5 days, you could see we haven't really done much. It's still the lowest volume of all of it, and really we haven't seen any volume that low. You kind of saw it one time here in April, but honestly, when we come back in time with this, it's very hard to see a print that low. You see some around here in August, and then again in October right before. I think there's a little 40 print hiding right in there. Yep. There's that 47 print, and would you look at that? I think it's just around the same amount, 7 million shy. But keep your guys' eyes out for that, because once that starts to pick up, that will let us know we're kind of going to leave this cuckening and things are going to go from there. So keep a big eye out for that. Nobody really called that out today on chat, and watch even the VIX. Watch the interaction between the VIX and the S&P 500. It just kind of did its own thing and held up today while you had a lot of things moving, especially tech even moving 1%. So keep your eyes on that for sure. So that's one of the plays we're going to talk about right there. I'm leaving it up there for you, EWM. But I'm sure you guys are going to want to hear this. It's kind of what I'm expecting. Either we're going to wait till Wednesday for a move, and I'm going to keep you guys updated as we come in here. These are just my theories. So even if I'm wrong, it is how do we maneuver from there. But it's either we wait till the move on Wednesday or really Thursday, or my tentative schedule, and really kind of if I could expect anything to happen on what's this going to happen, this. And this is just kind of with how things are developing. I'm expecting a gap up or some sort of rip up tomorrow in the morning or the morning afternoon. It's going to go up. Then it's going to turn around and sell off kind of like today in a weird way. And again, that is going to be dependent upon the volume. And then it'll come down, and then it'll pretty much cuck until Wednesday. So it'll sell a rip, come down a little bit. Wednesday will be another moment where it's kind of pausing and waiting. And then it'll probably come down further, then come back up after the Fed. And then Thursday, Friday, that is what's going to happen pretty much. Going to cuck till Wednesday, till the report by the Fed, and then some moves then, and then the finale will be on Thursday and Friday. So that's what I'm expecting. Keep your eyes out for that, and now make your strategy with this. We were talking about a lot of stuff, and then as far as what to watch, keep an eye out for the dollar and all that, but watch even Bitcoin. That could be hinting at stuff with Asia, and that puts up the first thing, but also now watch the bond rate. So now I'm going to give you something better to watch, because now it's going up or down. Now it sucks because as it gets more complex, knowing if rates go up or down just simply isn't good enough anymore, right? Crazy what could happen in 3 weeks. But the point here now, 2-year, 10-year. Some people could look at like the 1-year, 10-year. You could pull up other bond rates, but realistically, the 2-10-year, that is the epitome of a yield curve inversion. So technically, some hardcore economists would even say we are not even inverted yet, despite the 3-month higher than the 10-year. But they would say once the 2-year goes higher than the 10-year, that's important. Now, what happened is stuff like this today. You're even seeing like the 2 years going up, but it'll just say the 5-year was unchanged. But pretty much what was going to happen, like it did today, the 2-year could go up and the 10-year could go down. That is going to create one of those negative environments. And lastly, watch oil. It had a big move. It could have dropped below 50, and that's the thing. Whatever happens, whether it's Wednesday or tomorrow, and keep your eyes out for it, the minute oil drops below 50, that's probably going to set everything off, and then we're going to see the market go from there. So that's the first thing, and now to your plays. Watch EWM. Watch EWM and EEM, but I use EWM as a kind of a bellwether indicator, and this little gap down is not good. If this keeps going down, and why I say that is because you could look at other, here's emerging markets. You could look at Yang, even look at some Chinese stocks, and I suggest you guys look at BABA as well too as a stock. We made a butterfly play on that. But the whole point is that gap down on EWM on Malaysia is very, very weird. So with it sticking out like that, you want to keep your eye out for it, because if that continues, it's kind of letting us know with how people are viewing stuff. And now these are like one of those obscure outflows where people are pulling money from stuff like this. How many of you guys have ever looked at a Malaysia ETF? But in the context of what's going on, it's actually somewhat low-key very important. So keep your eye out for that. I like that. A lot of people wanted to watch Facebook. I'm not too big of a fan of that. Today, it gapped up 3%. Oh my gosh, what did it do after hours? Jeez, yeah, that's crazy, man. So it was up 3% this morning. It went up. I say if I am going to, people are like, okay, well, should we get puts? I say no, even for puts. Calls, be careful with it. I'm just going to wait probably a few more days, even coming into the Fed, to make my move on it. And if I am going to play something, I just like the risk reward a lot better for either Google or Amazon if we're going to be playing tech. So watch that. Watch Drip, because like I said, this is coming into now that $50 level. You saw it took a big move down today, but oil barely, it stayed low. So that's very weird. And really what I'm expecting is kind of a capitulation sell-off before a pop. But watch that in relation to oil. Now our handy-dandy friend Beyond, my friends. This thing is at 186 after hours. It hit 188. It's going crazy. I don't know why. If somebody wants to confirm that, you can below. But either way, it's still the same theory I had and what I really want to watch all week. And we have that play. So think about that November. If you guys remember, I was down $1,500 on that contract. Now I'm probably going to be up a lot. I sold a call on this today, so that's going to kill me. But even then, it's just going to really cap the large gain that we have here. And I'll show you guys what I plan to do with that tomorrow. But watch Beyond. But that leads to my favorite play of the week now. This is what I was saying. And if this goes up like this, watch to see if Zoom sell off. But I'm expecting this to come up. Zoom is my favorite play this week. I think it could come up here and do something unique regardless of what happens in the market. It wants to follow Beyond. And, the option plays are relatively priced. I think they're a little expensive, more than appropriate. So, but the issue is they just need to move. And I think a lot of people could see that happening. So watch what happened here with Beyond. That could tell us a lot. But Beyond, another play I have, this is, again, I guess I kind of going to be putting out some, Beyond is a call side. Guess Drip is a call, but the other thing, most of the plays do get a little bearish here. I like Johnson & Johnson. We bought puts this morning. It was going through stuff, and you even look at it on a few days. You could kind of tell something's happening here. It didn't have that Boeing effect again and bounce. So keep your eyes out for Johnson & Johnson. Same thing with Coca-Cola. And they've been struggling, the value stocks. We even talked about McDonald's today as well, too. That was one. So that was an interesting one. But again, having these big moves, it's telling you kind of how the market's viewing rotation, not rotation, so on and so forth. And finally, we've already talked about Zoom, but we have a few other plays, TLT. Take a look at TLT. Again, how this is working. I didn't expect it to go up like this, but it's slowly coming back to those highs, and that is not a good thing. This is a lot of risk and uncertainty with the market. I was expecting maybe for it to hold here a little bit, so we'll see. But coming into these next few days with the Fed, that's going to be very important. There's the air show with Paris, the Paris Air Show, and right now you actually had Airbus sell a bunch of orders, like 13 billion or something, and Boeing hasn't really sold anything. There was bad news yesterday. It didn't really move. They're saying they want to change the name of the MAX 8 to get behind it, all this stuff. But again, look at Boeing in relation to where the Dow is, how it's going to affect the overall market. Remember, it's one of those, if the market moves, even if Boeing isn't there, Boeing will catch up eventually. So keep that in mind when you're making that play. And lastly, banks. I've had to put this up here on this chart. I went through too many. But the banks was dropping. There's Bank of America, but if you take a look at Wells Fargo, this ended down about 0.5%, when some of the other banks didn't really, this JP Morgan was down. Goldman was only down 0.25%, and that's because of after hours. But like we said, Bank of America didn't go down too much. Citi went down, and even one I also known that was very important, HSBC, and they have China exposure as well. So that's even a weird move after hours. But they actually started the bank dump first. So keep your eyes on all the banks. We still have that weird butterfly on XLF, and we're still holding that. So that will be important. So lastly, as far as the plays, we talked about it. I wish I could have posted the video today. I didn't have enough time. The phone call we had today, we went over McDonald's, and I like this. A lot of people are asking. I want the 205s. I had a value assessment pretty much depending on what the market's doing. I want these at 30 cents. That is what I'm telling you. Watch out for these. If they get 30 cents, call them out. They could be a good play. However, if the climate has changed a lot and it looking like they could drop even lower, those 202.50s, we're going to want these at like 50 or 30 cents, believe it or not. So keep your eyes out for McDonald's. Push that one to the wall. The next play, I made this play today, and I really, really like it. Johnson & Johnson. We got the June 21st, the weekly. It's like $40, and the thing with it, I got the 137. We got this for $40. It stayed at $40. It went up a little bit. Johnson & Johnson is a tricky one to play, but the reason why I like it, I just want to get, or I got a weekly, is I want to go closer to the money. But watch out for this one. See if you could push that to the wall. And lastly, this was, I think, the other play we made today. Zoom, and I'm waiting on this one, June 21st, another weekly. We got this one for 30 cents. Oh, not that one. We got this one. So again, we got that in the morning. It dropped. You see how you lost 50%, a lot more even quicker. It's 50% on the ask, even less on the bid. But this is what I want to watch for. Now they're coming down in the price. We could get to 110, but pretty much if we start to get the same sort of beyond move out of Zune, I'm going to buy another one of these or wait, or I might even set up a butterfly, but I did want my hand in the cookie jar on that. So going to be watching all those. Definitely going to be watching Beyond Meat tomorrow. Make sure you guys post your watch list. Make sure you are live, youtube.com/the stock market 30 minutes before open. Keep it positive, respectful. That watch list better be there. Let's go!